I struggled with debt. Like when I got to Canada and then going back into Jamaica and for a month, I'm like, oh no, this is too rough. Like it was so rough.
It was first world.
Yeah, I was first world.
Hello and welcome to our immigration stories as told by Canadian immigrants. And each week we're going to dive into the real, the raw, and the inspiring journeys of immigrants.
All right, so I am here with the Flip Boss. I'm by the Flip Boss, and I know that you're doing a lot of work in financial literacy and empowering youth to make wise financial choices. I know a little bit about, going into debt, which is very typical and common in Canada. Yep. And I think that's when we come from our home countries, from Jamaica, from a different economy, a different economic ecosystem. We tend to make mistakes and dig ourselves into some holes. And it could have been avoided from the very first domino of learning about financial literacy. So I want to learn more about you and what you do. I'll tell you more about me and what I do. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, okay, and then we're going to talk about me afterwards.
All right, so sounds good. The name is Andre Smith. They call me the Flip Boss. I actually built a fintech app called Flip and Floss, and we use animation, gamification, and simulation to teach kids about money management. And our goal is to help at least 1 million kids to learn how to save, invest, and break generational cycle. All of this actually started because I struggled with debt. Like when I got to Canada, I got myself in like 50 grand worth of bad debt.
Yeah.
And it took a lot of work to get out of that. And, debt is something, like bad debt is something that really keeps us from progressing as a people. And so I wanted to be able to do something about that. So that's how all of this came about.
Okay. And I'm Christina. My platform is called As Told by Canadian Immigrants, and I came to Canada as an immigrant like you. You can tell me a little bit about the immigration story. 10 years ago as an international student, and I made my way through the immigration jungle.
This is really a jungle.
In the immigration jungle. When I came out, I wore a graduation hat to my citizenship ceremony.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it felt like I was graduating from Canadian Immigration University.
Yeah.
Because I did a lot of it on my own, and a lot of things were new during my day and all of that stuff, and it just felt like a constant. Every year there was an application process that felt like a CXC exam. So I came and I realized that there's a lot of amazing information out there, and a lot of people just looking for information and not really knowing how to analyze it. Yeah. And I developed a tiny obsession with Canadian immigration and started to share my story. Yeah. And now I share other people's stories as well as I'm about to share yours to help empower people with information so that they can make informed decisions, because there's a lot of scammers in the industry. Yeah. There are also some people who are not necessarily scammers, but they are business people, and so they have to sell their product, and sometimes their product is school. Mm-hmm. Yep. And sometimes their product is not necessarily to your benefit on your Canadian immigration journey. So I help to empower people with information so they can make informed decisions, and I partner with amazing people who have amazing products or services or whatever the case may be that they need anywhere along their immigration journey. So how did you get to Canada, Andre?
Yeah, my journey was pretty crazy. It started actually with a scholarship from the University of the West Indies.
Okay.
And I went to UTM, which is the University of Toronto, Mississauga, okay, on an exchange program. Mm-hmm. And honestly, it was a one-year program. I came back to Jamaica, and after doing a year in Canada, and then going back into Jamaica and for a month, I'm like, oh no, this is too rough. Like it was so rough.
It was first world.
Yeah, I was first world, literally. Like, and I'm like, no, I'm going back. I went back, and I got myself into school. Went back to York, and just like I said, it was a very rough immigration journey. Yes. Dealing with immigration is like not easy, but some good things came out. I met my wife while going to university there, and got married and get sorted out, and I've been able to build a life there. Like that's one of the good things about Canada, that even though you start off rough and it's crazy, like once you regularize yourself, and you connect with the right people, you'll see that there's a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that is your immigration story. It was a little bit different than some of the people who are swimming in the immigration waters right now. True. One of the probably easier and most guaranteed applications ever is that. And of course, that's amazing that you're able to kind of find that. And like most people who come to Canada and have been there for however long, sometimes you get first world.
Yeah, trust me. Yep.
And you go back and you're like, What? A
hard.
lock off? What? What's
Listen,
that?
It's crazy. Like even taxi, like the day to day is just so different. Yeah.
It's different.
It is different.
It's different. It's different. Okay, so usually I ask my guests to share like a word of advice or some word of wisdom for either future immigrants or current immigrants or immigrants like me who have been there for 10 years. How long have you been?
This is 12 years. Yeah.
Okay, so he's a veteran, all right?
Yeah, veteran immigrant.
Veteran immigrant, long before express entry and all these things.
Right.
But yeah, so what would you say as a word of advice, and how can people find you? And do you only focus on kids, or is it anybody?
Yeah. So
Sorry.
yeah, anyone. So yeah, no, it's all good. I get all of them. So the app is more focused on kids, like parents and kids. So
Okay.
parents download the app, onboard their kids as well.
Okay.
And then like they interact together. So the parent and the child work together
Good.
on the journey.
Yeah.
Outside of the app, I do a lot of workshops with a lot of organizations.
Okay.
So I've worked with over 30 nonprofits. I actually just connected with a nonprofit in Canada. They actually serve about 400,000 Canadian.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that new
Yes.
journey.
Yes.
And then we work with school boards as well. So
Okay.
we are currently in a number of schools piloting the platform. We just had a couple other schools looking to pilot the platform.
Okay.
And back in the day, I used to work one-on-one with people, but of course, with growth comes a lot of work and the capacity is just not there.
Yes.
In terms of where people can find me, I'm on Instagram, the Flip Boss, and I'm also on LinkedIn. So I'm very involved in the community on LinkedIn, sharing my thoughts and
Okay.
engaging and whatnot.
Yes.
So I'm on LinkedIn at Andre Smith. I believe if you search Flip Boss as well, you'll find me.
me.
Honestly, if you go on Google and just search the Flip Boss, you'll
Yes.
find me.
Yes.
It's a trademark name, and it's funny because I didn't come up with the name. People actually gave me that name.
Okay.
Right? But yeah, so that's kind of like what I do. From time to time, I'll run some free workshops for
Okay.
people.
Okay.
Talking about things like buying real estate in Jamaica or
Okay.
buying
And
stocks
that's where
and
the
things like
adults
that.
come in.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, awesome. And Flip stands for something.
Yeah. So yeah, you remember that?
I remember that from just now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the Flip and Floss is an acronym. It stands for Financial Literacy and Investor Program, and Future Leaders Obtaining Sufficient Skills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flip floss.
Flip Floss, yeah.
All right. Well, okay. The word of advice or
The
a
word
word
of
of
advice, yeah.
wise word for current, future, or
Yeah.
immigrants.
Well, I will tell you, like, I know Canada, and I mean, any transition is really hard going to a new country. But one of the things that I've realized is that, Canada is the land of opportunity. I think one of the things is that we are limited by the amount of information that we have and perhaps the people that we surround ourselves with. But I will say, stay true, work really hard and smart, but connect with the right people.
Yeah.
One of the things I didn't know, like in school, like they tell you, like, yo, get a degree. You get a degree, and you're like, so what? What I've learned is that the people that you know and connect with
Yes.
can really take you far places, right? And so there is actually a really great opportunity right now in Canada, in Jamaica, as an immigrant, right? One of the things I love about Canada is the access to capital. You can easily go to the bank and get a loan. That loan you can take back to Jamaica and buy real estate, right? So I want people to look at the opportunities that are available.
Yeah.
Try to navigate those opportunities. There are a lot of resources right now. If you're looking to start a business, there's a lot of incubators, right? So this is the great time to really try something new
Yes.
and just get out your comfort zone, right? Regardless of how difficult it is, connect with people like myself on Instagram, on LinkedIn. If I can guide you, I'll connect you to the right person.
Yeah.
But you definitely want to go out there and connect and seize this opportunity. Everyone else is jumping on this opportunity, especially with the shifts that we're seeing in AI.
Yes.
Right? So you want to get involved and seize the opportunity.
Yes. And I just want to say that I've just only met him. He literally came off of stage, our Consul General, and I want to shout out to our representatives in Canada, our Consul General Kurt Davis and our High Commissioner Miss Marsha. They've been doing a really good job, I think, at looking after us. Like, this is my first experience as a member of the diaspora. I never really knew of this conference until recently, and they've done an amazing job of trying to connect us, trying to look out for us, and trying to make sure that we are benefiting from this. I want to shout out to them and say thank you so much, and thank you for connecting me. And the reason I was making that point is that he just said his main point was basically networking, and if you're just watching my show, well, welcome to As Told by Canadian Immigrants or Immigration Stories. Go and binge watch all the immigration stories. And this interview has not been prepped or briefed or anything. This is my first conversation with Andre, and he said networking. The last people, networking. The person before that, networking. The person before that, how we had a whole networking series, and none of this was planned. So there's a common theme that I'm here to network. I've just met you, so now we're friends forever.
For life.
And you know, you never know, and it's gonna come from genuine connection. So it's not like you're trying to network to make to get a job or whatever the case may be. You're going with genuine intention to meet somebody, to learn about somebody, and you never know where it will take you, right? Yeah. So be open, do it scared, you know, just do it, right? And 1% improvements each time. If you go to a networking event, don't hang out with your friends, right? Go and sit down at a table with nobody. Today, you know who I sat with? I sat with like the whole Grace team.
Yeah.
For Grace Kennedy. I was just, you know, you never know where opportunities will take you. So that was a common theme. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Thank you for watching. This is the first time. Stick around, subscribe for more inspiring stories about Canadians and our immigration stories and anything that you need to know about Canadian immigration. Like this video if it was helpful for you. Share it with your friends. Follow him on Flip Boss or Flip Floss. Flip Floss Boss.
Flip and
floss like a boss. Yeah. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.